These 5 pirates could have easily saved Ace in the Marineford of number 5, Monkey D. Dragon. Since Ace is Luffy's brother, Dragon is like his stepdad. If Wingard User Dragon showed up at Marineford, he might have changed everything. Next is Rops. He was a terrifying pirate who ruled the seas before the pirate era even began. If he were alive, he could have shown up and made a huge difference at Marineford. Number 3 is Monkey D. Garp. Garp is not a pirate, but if he had chosen family over duty and decided to fight alongside Luffy, the battle might have turned out completely different. And number 2 is Goldie Roger. If the Pirate King was still alive, he wouldn't have let his son Ace be executed. Roger would have gone all out, flipping Marineford upside down to rescue Ace. And number 5 is Gear 5 Luffy. If Luffy had Gear 5 powers during the Marineford battle, things would have ended differently. He could have turned the whole place into rubber and saved Ace from execution easily. You do know that Oda's dropped several hints about Luffy's possible death, which could have a massive effect on the One Piece story. The first very important hint was when Luffy was almost executed in Loguetown, at the same place where Goldie Roger died. Luffy stood in the same position, with the same fiery look in his eyes. If that moment was the only one, we could have ignored it. But then, in Film Red, Luffy was once again about to be executed. Another clue comes from Luffy's childhood, where his t-shirt had the word "Bu" in it, which means death from illness in Japanese. This makes the theory more believable. We also know Roger was dying and chose to face execution to make a strong statement, even though the world government thought they had caught him. Maybe Luffy will choose the same path once he becomes the Pirate King. Shanks is stronger than Roger and Whitebeard, and while a lot of people may not agree, I have reasons to back it up. First, we know Shanks is incredibly powerful. Remember when he stopped Kaido from going to Marineford? And at Marineford, Shanks showed up without a scratch. Kaido is almost as strong as Whitebeard, so if Shanks can't stop him, he's clearly no joke. Shanks is not just strong, he's also super important in the story. He was found by Roger at God Valley in a treasure chest. Roger thought he would find a Devilfoot, but instead he found Shanks. Everybody from God Valley is important, and that made Shanks stand out even more. Plus, his influence on Luffy, Zoro's reincarnation, shows just how connected he is to big events. But the real reason I think Shanks is so strong, he knows the truth about the One Piece, but he's choosing not to act. Only the strongest people can be this patient. If Shanks wanted to, he could have become Pirate King long ago, but he's waiting for Luffy to take that throne instead. Did you know Kaido has been beaten 8 times? That's right. In chapter 795, we learned Kaido has tasted defeat 7 times before. The first one was probably when he was with his old captain, Rox DJ Beg. Rox had big dreams of becoming king of the world, and Kaido was just a young pirate with no Devilfoot powers back then. Next up is Whitebeard. When Whitebeard was in his prime, Kaido didn't stand a chance and could have easily lost to him. Kaido also likely lost to Goldie Roger during the God Valley incident. Roger was super strong, and it's very likely he beat Kaido too. Speaking of the God Valley incident, Kaido probably got into trouble with the Marines too, and that might be where Garp or Sengoku gave him his 4th defeat. For number 5, it is Shanks. When Shanks was 19, around Luffy's current age, he probably fought and beat Kaido. Number 6 is of course Luffy. He recently took down Kaido in their big fight. As for the 7th and 8th times, it could have been the same people beating Kaido twice. Did you know that these are the only 3 people in the world Luffy is scared of? At number 3, it is Grandpa Garp. Garp has been strict with Luffy since he was a kid. He did this for 2 reasons. 1, to get Luffy ready for the tough world out there, and 2, because he didn't want to deal with a kid like Luffy. Second is Ace, who Luffy fears a lot, and for a good reason. Ace wasn't just his big brother, but also someone Luffy truly called family. It was hard for Luffy to win Ace's approval, and he was scared of making Ace mad. Number 1 is Nami. Luffy is so scared of Nami that even as the captain, he can't say no to her, which is why he has to satisfy her and constantly fill up the hole in her heart. While Conqueror's haki punches are what Luffy fears the most in the One Piece world. Ever wondered why Rayleigh is called Silver in One Piece? Back in the days of Whitebeard and Roger, the strongest crew members got special titles. For example, in Whitebeard's crew, each member had a rank based on their strength, like Marco being the 1st Division Commander and Ace as the 2nd Division Commander. These ranks weren't just for show, they indicated power and who served as the Vice Captain, but things were a bit different on Roger's ship. Instead of numbers, they used precious metals to rank their top members. Gold, silver and copper. Roger, being the captain, already had gold in his name, so he was known as Goldie Roger. The 2nd strongest person in his crew was Rayleigh, and that's why he got the name Silver's Rayleigh. Then there was Copacabana, the 3rd strongest, who was named after copper, earning the title Copacabana. It's a unique way to show the strength and rank of Roger's legendary crew. Pretty cool, right? Can small d Kobe truly be as strong as big D Garp? In chapter 1087, Brand New said, "No one is born a hero, you earn it through training." He was talking about Aokiji and Garp, but it fits Kobe too, because both of them are called heroes. Garp was not always strong. He didn't start with powerful haki or incredible skills. He trained hard to get there. Garp even hinted that Kobe has amazing potential. Garp said, even though the Marines will lose him at Hachinosu, getting Kobe back will be a huge win. This means Garp thinks Kobe is not as important emotionally, but that Kobe might even be stronger than him one day. Garp believes Kobe could make the Marines better in the future, so it is totally possible Kobe will not only reach Garp's level, but might even surpass him. Ever wondered what the Straw Hats would die for without even thinking twice? Luffy, he would lose it if someone tried to take his meat. He would fight the whole navy if he had to. Zoro, he would do the same, but for booze. This guy drinks like a monster. Imagine him using Rock Lee's moves with his 3 swords. That would be epic. Nami, she's all about the gold. Nothing could stop her from grabbing some money if it's there for the taking. And Chopper, that little guy loves cotton candy. When he went to Whole Cake Island, it was like a dream come true. Frankie, he's into those hardcore love stories, just like Senor Pink. Brooke, on the other hand, can't get enough of pantries. It's like my obsession with black holes. Then there's Santi. All he wants is a girl. Any girl. Blonde, mermaid, doesn't matter. And Robin, well, her greatest love, she will fight anybody to get a taste of my big fat heart. Proof? Ask Oda. Have you ever wondered which devil fruit is the rarest in One Piece? Though the series hasn't given us a direct answer, we can still figure it out. Let's break down devil fruits by rarity. At the bottom, we've got Jowans. They are the most common, with the largest number of types. Just above them are Paramecia fruits. After that, we have Logias, which are much rarer. Moving up, we reach Ancient Jowans, which might be as rare as Logias, but at the very top are the mythical Jowans. These are extremely rare, with only a few known to exist. But the rarest of all mythical Jowans is Luffy's fruit, along with the fruits connected to the other 4 gods. Luffy's devil fruit, as revealed, is related to the sun god. In the Skypiea arc, we learned about the possibility of a rain god, a forest god, and an earth god, implying that these god fruits might also be out there. This is why these 4 god-related fruits are definitely the rarest in the One Piece world. Do you know Zoro might be the reason Kuina died? Hear me out. In the anime, Oda tells us that Kuina died because she fell down the stairs. But honestly, in a world like One Piece, that seems a bit strange. People don't die easily, even from crazy accidents. Kuina was an amazing swordswoman, and she even beat Zoro. It's hard to believe someone like her would just die from a fall. The truth behind her death might have more to do with her sword, the Wado Ichimonji, which Zoro now owns. This sword is actually cursed, and whoever holds it faces a random unexpected death. So maybe the sword is what caused her death. But how did Zoro fit in? Zoro has a special connection with cursed swords, so they don't affect him. In One Piece, swords are said to have their own will. When Kuina battled Zoro with the Wado Ichimonji, the sword might have chosen Zoro to be its real owner, just like how Luffy's fruit chose him. Do you know that besides Luffy, Zoro, Sanji and Jinbei, there might be another Straw Hat member with all 3 types of haki, and it's not someone you would expect, it is Nami. Sounds wild, right? But there are many clues pointing to this. First, let's talk about observation haki. Nami's weather predicting skills are insane. She can sense bad weather even when the sky looks perfect. Remember the movie Strong World? Even though it's not part of the main story, it still shows how awesome her skills are. Next, we've got armament haki. We've seen that when the crew hits Luffy, nothing happens. But when Nami hits him, it hurts, which is usually implied as a comical moment. This might actually be because of armament haki. Lastly, there's a chance she has Conqueror's haki. When Nami was smacking Luffy around, Jinbei joked about her having Conqueror's haki. It seemed like a joke, but knowing Oda, this could be a clever hint.